I'm Sebastian from InvestComics.com. This place is still Famous Faces and Funnies. This empty space on either side of me is clearly not Sean. He has buggered off to Seattle. I think he's visiting the zoo. He wants to see if they have an extra cougar. He recently lost his. Alright, so I'm by myself. I got no one to riff off of. I'm just going to dive right in, and I'm going to start. First, my pick of the week. It gets to be pick of the week because Sean ain't here to tell me it can't be. Dial H, #2, so good. This book is so good. Any of you that don't like it, you're allowed to not like it, but I don't get it, why you don't. Because this book is so much fun. And it's actually got, aside from the fun and obvious, you know, Dial H, blah, 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 yes, it's got a serious story going on. There's a lot involved. It's clearly well thought out and going places. It's falling into the category that Sean and I love to call Wonder Woman. That Vertigo, you know, one of the best Vertigo books that isn't a Vertigo. It's clearly got that Vertigo feel, you know, much more. I like superhero books. I can go ahead and say much more cerebral than a superhero book and still not feel like I'm dissing superhero book. But it's really, really good. It introduces a couple of new identities, including Shamanticore, a Manticore shaman. How great is that? Really, you can't beat that. All right. Earth 2, #2, all over, das interwebs all week because we've got the introduction of, well, we sort of met Alan Scott last issue, but now we get a full introduction of him and find out that in the 52 reboot, the new 52 reboot, Alan Scott is gay. And I really have no problems with this. I know some people, I don't have any problems with any of the specific changes they're making to these. I do occasionally sit back and think, oh wow, you know, think of all the tapestry of history that was the World War II characters, and now that's gone. But I don't mind these individual changes or whatever. What I do mind is this horrible outfit that they have got Flash in, the Jay Garrick Flash. The book itself, love it, okay? Story-wise, love it. It's completely, I'm going to say compressed, because I feel stupid saying non-decompressed, all right? So I'm just going to say it's compressed. The story, boom, stuff is happening, things are going. We've already met a handful of people and seen teasers. They talk about Tyler Kem. Mr. Terrific from the regular Earth shows up, meets Sloan. He meets Terry Sloan, who should have been Mr. Terrific in this Earth, but in this seems to be a non-costume still genius. Lot going on. I just don't understand why if the god Mercury shows up complete in Mercury's helmet and gives somebody superpowers, why is this costume going to be what Mercury would give you? I don't see that. But everything else, really, really good stuff. World's Finest, #2, Huntress and Power Girl, so good, so very, very good. The modern stuff by with George Perez is so good. The flashback sequences by Kevin McGuire are so beyond good, and the story is, the story is just really, really good. Paul Levitz has clearly got ideas for this. He's doing some great characterization. It's already a buddy team that they're 2 issues in, and I already really, really like them. All right, we got some AVX crossovers, such as they are. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we'll start with. I guess we'll start with AVX. All right, Avengers versus X-Men, round 5. The Phoenix is here, and the Phoenix does not go to who anybody expected. I'm safe in saying that. Yes, the does not go where it's expected at all, and even I'm not 100% sure what that means for the Marvel Universe. It's good. It's fun. I get nervous with Marvel crossovers. They tend to go longer than I want them to, and they tend to have more parts that don't really, but this itself is good. Avengers Academy is freaking awesome. Hashtag so good. Just start tweeting Avengers Academy. Hashtag Avengers Academy. Hashtag so good. And you can tag Christos Gage in that, because that's really that should be trending right now. He does such. These characters do more thinking and emoting than people I know in real life. Okay, it's just it is so good. Read this and you'll understand. And Paul Pelt, no, it's Grummett. Tom Grummett on the art. Can't go wrong there. So beyond good. Uncanny X-Men number 13. Oh yeah, this is number 31. This is number 13. See, I threw in numbers. Uncanny X-Men 13, not as great. Kieran Gillen, it's okay. We'll just call it that. Here we go. Before Watchmen. Ooh, so controversial. All right, Before Watchmen. This is the Minutemen, number 1. I don't mind them going back and doing. I have no problem with them saying, "Hey, let's go and do stuff." You know, I'm not going to get into the creator rights battle end of it, but the idea of there being more Watchmen is fine with me. This, as a first one, was kind of bland. It's okay. I mean, the art is good. You know, it's Darwin Cook. Story-wise, it's really just, I guess, if you've never read anything Watchmen, it's really just an introduction to the Golden Age Watchmen lineup, and that's pretty much what it is. Right? We're talking with the Golden Age Night Owl, and he was talking about the book that he wrote. So far, this hasn't really tread any new, you know, it's okay. Animal Man and Swamp Thing are so good, so good. I didn't expect to like any of these back when I started it, because I loved the actual Animal Man. And I still love, if you're watching those little DC shorts on the DC Nation, Animal Man is the best. Right above Vibe goes Animal Man. All right. This is so good. Jeff Lemire does a great job. Again, I like my character-driven books. I like books where the characters seem like real people. And since issue 2, I have wanted to jump into the comic, walk up to the little group of Animal Man and his family, the Bakers on the run there, and punch Ellen Baker in the face. All right, Animal Man's wife. How much more do you need to understand? You're dealing with the abstract concepts of life and death, and you can't outrun those. It makes me crazy. This, oh yeah, Return of Anton Arcane. Really good. Less Swamp Thing, more Anton Arcane perspective. Really, really good. Ultimate Spider-Man number 11 this is the best Spider-Man book that's going. I'm probably going, despite the fact that I kept telling myself I was not going to, because I just thought it was whatever. I'm probably going to read Spider-Man, less for Peter Parker than for Miles Morales. This really is the best Spider-Man book out there. It goes this, then I'll say this, Avenging Spider-Man, and then Scarlet Spider. Those are the best 3 Spider books you've got right now. Interesting, it's the team up of Spider-Man and Uncle Prowler, which is fun to say. Sounds creepy and southern. Oh, I'm going down to see Uncle Prowler. Uh-oh. But no, it's not like that. It's Spidey and Uncle Prowler versus the Scorpion, and it's his first real, takedown of a supervillain and of a major, and it's good. It's really good. Batwing number 10. They take on pirates. It's got that old school kind of, this is already right here. I knew he was going to be happy. Right? Jacked by the Jackals. That just sounds like such an old school comic title. Someone else in this stack we'll get to later talks about, titles and where they should be in stories. That was interesting. But this, it's just really good. It's one of the stronger Bat books, and you should just be reading this. I don't know how many times I can tell you that. I'm not as good at this. I need somebody to... I'm going to fight with myself in a minute just so I have... No, you're not. Shut up. Listen, just so I have something to work off of. Justice League International number 10. It's coming to an end, and tragically, I hope they do something past the 0 issues for September and get something back with this team, whether they're jail or at least with something, because it they announced the cancellation right around the time the book was finally winning me over. All right, the first storyline went nowhere. The second storyline was kind of, you know, meh. But boom, we're now getting into, you know, understanding these characters, finally figuring out, this new 52 hasn't told us a lot of who some of these characters are. We don't know how much we know about them, if they're old characters, some of them are brand new characters, or, you know, Godiva, who's kind of plucked from the Flashpoint series. Who are these people? We're finally starting to get to know, and then they announce, oh yeah, we're going to cross them over all over the place, and then cancel. X Factor Road Trips, X Factor number 237. X Factor is always great. I don't need to tell you this. Peter David, who apparently is a humble man and doesn't like it if you tweet that he's, you know, Peter David's X Factor. No, it's a team X Factor. All right, and they all really do. You know, Neil Edwards has done a great job on the art. You know, you got Carp Castle inking, and you can never go wrong there. And Rachel Rosenberg on colors, all a winning combo. You get a road trip, you get Rain doing her usual, I feel completely guilty for everything that's ever happened, and also at the same time, I am judging everyone else because, well, I was raised Catholic, I can relate to feeling bad about yourself yet judging others. It's pretty much, that's our thing. But yeah, they take her out and try and finally get through that. They bring back Father John Madrix, the Jamie Madrix dupe that Jamie agreed doesn't have to come back and went off to is an actual ordained priest out there. And I kind of like that character. Good stuff, good stuff. John Byrne's Trio is actually fun. I liked the first one. I really like the second one. It's almost, you know, an homage or a spoof. Just depends on which way you really want to, you know, if you're a half full, half empty kind of guy. But it's a kind of Fantastic Four-esque book, but they're called the Trio. They refer to themselves as 1, 2, and 3, but their actual character names are Rock, Scissor, and Papers. So clearly, Rock, Scissor, and Papers. So clearly, I had to read this. It's a lot of fun. It's some vintage-looking Byrne, and yeah, I mean it's got that old school feel. He does that whole John Byrne, you know, narration in the little bubbles. Extermination #1, so good. It's $1. Read this. If you don't like it, you're out $1. This is the start of a new series. Aliens have wiped out the Earth. We've got 2 survivors here, the Red Reaper and Nox. Nox was a Batman-type superhero. Red Reaper is this super genius supervillain. The 2 of them have stopped fighting and are now teaming up to see if they can find any other survivors. And it was really, really good. You have, you know, you had Nox with his "I will not kill no matter what" rule, and Red Reaper, you know, really, you're going to cling to that? We're fighting alien hallucination creatures that are killing everybody. So it was really, really good and very, very in depth. Exo Manowar #2, so good. #1 was so good. #2 is so good, all caps. It's really kicking up. We get to the good skin. Robert Venditti and Carrie Nord are just doing awesome stuff on this. It's really, you know, if you've never read the old Valiant, you don't need to. If you have read the old Valiant, it's not what you've already read, but it's still so good. Speaking of, all right, Harbinger #1 came out, and it is beyond so good. I'm so happy. I liked old Valiant. I'm loving new Valiant. I'm just happy with all of this stuff. The art in this is gorgeous. I'm not 100% certain that I know who either of these people are. You've got Kerry Evans and Joshua Dessart. Brilliant stuff. I'm really looking forward to more of that. From Image, we got Mudman #4. I love Mudman. All right, he's like a soggy Sandman. That's a hero, and very British. All right, it's really good, really fun. Read that. Double Jumpers 1 to 4. I was talking about this before we started filming to Dave, our cameraman, and Jared, the little guy that sits next to Dave when they talk about video games. This book is from Action Lab, so you know I like everything that they tend to put out. This is about a bunch of techies who are working on a new high-tech video game. You actually go into it. The characters have preloaded personalities, so if you play by yourself, the other characters can still go and do stuff. But if everybody jumps in with you, you put on the goggles and go into the little virtual reality, then you can bypass those personalities and you can all play the characters. There's some glitches. One of the glitches ends up being, the guys don't know it, they're stuck in the game and their bodies have been shanghaied. The personalities, the NPC personalities have taken over their bodies and have buggered off. They've just gone off, and the bodies have no idea what's happened to them either. So they're like, why am I not a barbarian? And yeah, they some of them were playing, males playing female characters, female playing men characters. So suffice it to say, the CGI, the NPC personalities are very confused when they wake up in these other bodies. So it was a lot of fun. The artwork's gorgeous. This is really good. Check it out. Defenders #7 continues to be really good. Defenders seems to be one of those books that people are either yay or no. So if you're yay, then you're going to be yay. If you're no, you still no. But I think it's really good. Thief of Thieves #5. I really like this book. Really, really like this. At this point, it's starting to build up towards a heist style. I like heist movies, so I like heist comics. It makes sense. But this is really good. And I mean, it's Robert Kirkman and Nick Spencer. I'm a huge Robert Kirkman fan. Not so huge a Nick Spencer fan, but I really like this one, so I guess I'm coming around. Legend of Oz, The Wicked West. All right, this is from Big Dog Inc. This book is beautiful. Okay, first off, I can't stress that. Who's drawing this so I can give them props? Alison Borges and Kate Finnegan on colors. Such a beautiful book. The two of them work really well together. This book this whole thing just pops, but not in like a garish pop. It's just really, really well done. And Tom Hutchison is doing a great job on this story. I really like that. This Scarecrow, his version of Scarecrow, is I think one of my favorite things. And because everybody does an Oz thing, that's like, hey, I'm going to do an Oz, but this stands out on its own. Great stuff. You got Palmiotti and Gray special. All right, we got GI Combat #2 and Creator-Owned Heroes #1. This one's from Image. All right, GI Combat #2. J.T. Kroll does the first story with was it the War That Time Forgot. I like it. I still have some problems with this. Still that mix of CGI and real art. It's probably pissed a whole bunch of people. CGI and traditional art, and it doesn't always blend as much as I'd like it to. And then Gray, Palmiotti, and Panosian did Unknown Soldier. I like the first part. I really like Unknown Soldier. Creator-Owned Heroes, really, really good. It's $3.99. It's like super thick. All right, you get 22 pages of story. You get a handful of ads and a bunch of little interviews and behind-the-scenes stuff. Really good, lots of fun. The first story is Steve Niles and Kevin Mellon's American Muscle. It's I don't think quite zombies so much as mutants, but it's it's almost Road Warrior of the Living Dead kind of thing. Though I don't know necessarily that they're zombies so much as mutants, but it's a post-apocalyptic road trip, and that's fun, right? And then Palmiotti and Gray team up with Phil Noto to do Trigger Girl 6, who is basically a super assassin, I assume clone of some sort. Just boom, just jumps right in, really good, gorgeous, because it's Phil freaking Noto. And then all the other stuff, you got an interview with with Steve Niles, you get interviews with Julia Bean, who's the cosplayer who dressed for Trigger Girl 6. $3.99, so worth it. You get all of that. Action Comics #10 continues to not thrill me. I liked Action Comics 9. I liked the alternate Earth Action Comics. This goes back to blah, 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 blah. Plus, you've got him talking to the Justice League. It's a flashback to 5 years ago talking to the Justice League, but they don't know each other's identities, and apparently he didn't bother reading. Grant Morrison didn't bother reading Justice League because Batman reveals in 6 seconds to everybody, oh, I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And they all talk about all of this. In this, they're all, oh, you're this? Oh, I didn't know that. And it's like, really? You've got a new continuity that's 10 issues old, and you already can't keep it straight? Formerly Thunderbolts, now Dark Avengers 175, surprised me at being really, really good. I like this. If you haven't read any of the Thunderbolts, and I haven't read many, but if you haven't read any, you don't need to. You can jump on. This gives you everything you need, and it makes a lot of sense in character lineup change, and why these characters and what's going on, and it's just, you know, it was really good. Superbia number 4 from Boom was good. I thought the first one was okay. By the time the second one came out, I was like, oh, it's only 4. I'm halfway through. I'll stick with it. Now that this 4th one's done, each issue got better. So I was happy enough that when they announced at the end that, you know, we'll be back with an ongoing in the fall, I'm looking forward to it. I want to check that out because they left a lot of stuff that could, you know, that they could build on afterwards, and I want to see where it goes. So this is pretty good. Smallville number 2 is so good. All right, Brian Q. Miller, who wrote both for Smallville and for DC Comics, is writing this, and it's perfect. In fact, I liked Smallville. I know not everybody did. I loved Superman before the New 52. This is probably the best of both worlds for me, and as close as I'm going to get to what I will consider a real Superman. So I really, really like this. The art is really good, and it's just it's just a beautiful book that is well done. Works in its own continuity. You don't need to watch the show. You don't need to know anything. They've mixed a little bit of movie elements. You know, Lex Luthor has an Otis now, which kind of makes me happy. Good stuff. All right. Secret number 2. It's a John Hickman book. So if Sean were here, he'd be going, "Oh, this is so good. I love it." I'm going to leave that as my review. I thought it was okay. I thought the first one was okay. Sean, if he were here, would tell you how much he loves this. Detective is okay. It's not one of my favorite Bat books at the moment, but there's some good stuff going in here. He actually does some detective work, and that's important to me. I like when my Batman is a detective. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Christian Bale. Yeah. Oh, no, he didn't like the Christian Bale movies. You can post how much you hate me right here. I don't like the Christian Bale Batman movies. The, whatever his face is, Nolan, I don't care for them. They're not my thing. You can hate me here. Right? I don't care about the new one. I'll go watch Avengers again while everyone else is seeing Dark Knight Rises. I'll go see A Puny God. But yeah, this is okay. Journey into Mystery, I like and don't like at the same time. I don't know how that is. That opening page always puts me off because I don't like the way Loki breaks down the fourth wall, and I don't know necessarily that works with the rest of the story. That, you know, Loki comes out and goes, "Hi, I'm Loki," and I'm going to narrate, and then Loki making it's like, it should be my wife's favorite book. We've got Loki making There Will Be Blood references. Really, Loki's talking about, "I drink your milkshake." Really, that's a reference Loki's going to make, unless you're trying to get my wife to read comics, in which case Loki plus There Will Be Blood. That's it. You've got it. But yeah, this is okay. If you're already liking this, it's really good. I continued with this because I was reading the New Mutants crossover, and I don't know. I'd read 2 pages, and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to keep buying this," and I read another 2 and be like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." And then, yeah. So I don't know. It's I can't tell if I really like this book or really don't. So I guess it's okay. Green Arrow number 10 is better than the first 9, but still missing something that makes it. I mean, it's Green Arrow. He's getting a TV show. He should at least be able to, you know, sort out his book. I mean, come on. But all right. Sorry I wasn't as much fun without anybody to work off of. You can continue to hate me for being, you're no fun and you don't like the Chris Nolan Batman movies. We hate you. You know, post whatever you got to do. Sean will be back next week. We're building towards our 1-year anniversary of FFFIC. So if you've been watching us for that long, I'm so sorry. But good night, Internet.